if you turn around and look back with open eyes at your life, you see all the scars. The only way you cannot be humble in old age is when you refuse to look at the reality of your life up to today. That's the only way.
Because nobody's skating
Right.
through it perfectly.
But this is what drives my, it sounds ludicrous in my ears, but my business endeavors today. This is the core of what drives me. Okay, there is no business out there that I can take on. There is no monetary endeavor that I can take on that is worth the gamble of me losing me. It took me years of a lot of grief and pain and work to get to be who I am today in spite of who I was. And I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose myself in business. I don't want to lose myself in trying to earn a better living, in trying to get a name and trying to do this. It's like I have turned down so much because I've looked at it and I've asked myself, who's this going to make me be? Who's this going to turn me into? Even a little bit. And it's like, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. And so I'm right now trying to find the balance in undertaking something that's not going to alter me, that I'm not going to lose myself, and then not succeeding at something because I was too afraid to try it. I've never been afraid of failure before, but now I've got something I don't want to lose, and that's myself that I actually love, or me that I actually love.
The person that you have to spend the most time talking to in your life is yourself. Try not to lose that respect. How have you learned to have a better relationship with yourself? The voice inside of your head to be kinder if things go badly.
I like me. I like me. I would buy me a drink. I look at me now and I see all the work. Okay, I see all the negatives more than anybody else does. I see the positives. And over the whole balance of stuff, I like me. And I can give myself the same grace. If you and I were friends, I can give myself the same grace I can give you. Because I like me. I like me in spite of my understanding and the reality of my weaknesses and my warts and my scars and everything. But all in all, I'm a pretty good dude. And, man, you gotta get that point. Arrogance is pride mixed with ignorance. All right, that's the definition of arrogance. I'm not talking arrogance. I'm talking about, look, as a human being, I've failed at this, I've succeeded at that, I've wrecked this, but I've built that. All in all, I've tried, but I like me, so I'm gonna give me some grace.
And how many people can say that? How many people say I like me? They would give more grace, more care, more attention, more love to somebody else than themselves. There's a statistic around, I think on average, the likelihood that you are going to complete a course of antibiotics yourself is about 50%.
Right.
The likelihood of your dog completing it is 95%.
Yeah.
So we're literally capable of caring for a pet.
Right.
Needing double as well as we can for ourselves. Remembering that if you die, no one can look after the pet. Serving others from a cup which overflows around your own is important. Tell me, how do you like yourself?
Find somebody that you like, that you genuinely like, and figure out what it is about them you like. I like that. That's something I like. That person is, they're understanding, they're gentle, they're hardworking, they're honest. This is what I like about them. And incorporate that stuff into your own life. If that's the stuff you like, then incorporate that stuff into who you are. and then you like yourself. It's not rocket science. But it's when you become the person that we like. I have come to the place in my life where when I meet somebody and they don't like me, and you can tell, I don't care. I like me. And it's enough.
You know, this was a lesson that I realized toward the end of my 20s, where I'd accumulated a lot of success and status, and maybe the way that modern society tells a young man that he should, with freedom and notoriety and women and stuff like that. And that was cool, and to look back on fun. But it was beginning to get to the stage where I didn't like me all that much. Well, it wasn't anything bad. I just felt like I was built for more, I was built for different, built for something else.
Right.
And I realized that I wasn't keeping fantasies for myself.
Right.
That if I said I was going to wake up at a certain time, the snooze phone would be hit sleeping.
Right.
If I said that I was going to stick to my diet or go to the gym or do this thing, maybe it would happen, but it wouldn't happen quite the way that I'd meant it to, and there would be some negotiating and some cajoling and some falling short. You know, how can you have faith that you're going to go and do all of the things that you want in life when you can't not hit the snooze button?
Right.
Or you can't not cheat on your diet? You
Right.
can't not do... You know, you are constructed by the tiny decisions that you make every single day.
Well, I'll just say I came to a place in life where I just didn't like anything. I wasn't a very nice person. And very on edge, very hungry. So I had to make some decisions. I can't continue to live like this. Angry, there's no benefit to it. You know, it doesn't fix anything. You know, anger, it just turned out on like, this is not profitable. And this is eating me up inside. And I'm making stupid decisions. And this has just got to end. So I had to make some decisions. What's making me like this? I need to get it out of my life. And slowly over time, got a handle on stuff. And kind of got some of my perspective back.
So imagine that you had a friend, and every time that you invited this friend out for lunch, they showed up an hour late, or didn't show up at all. After a while, you stop trusting them and stop checking them out at all. You are that friend to yourself. And I think this is such an important lesson for people who want to be liked, who want to struggle socially, and want to become better. People like people that make them feel good.
Right.
They don't care that much about how impressive the person is.
So I was riding for an outfit in Alaska, got me, and they brought in a mare, and the best I could understand, he was a retired barrel racing horse from here in Texas. And so when I signed them, they assigned her to me because nobody else, we couldn't put guests on her, none of the other men wanted to ride her, because her go-to was wrong. If something disturbed her, her head came up and it's just run. That's my answer, they're supposed to just run. And it wasn't something that I could physically fight and stop. And so that horse really made me step outside of the thought process of physically controlling something that has a mental emotional issue and getting in her head and figuring out what can I do if the problem is mentally or emotionally, what can I do to get into her head and get into her emotions and fix that for her. And so what I did, and it's so simple, it probably wouldn't even make sense to a lot of folks. But while we were sitting there and while she was calm, sitting there at the ranch waiting for others to get on their horses, I would just come in with the lightest little pressure and get her to tip her nose. Not pull her nose in, just give a signal, hey, tip your nose, so she tip her nose. And we just do that and just do that. And then when we get out on the trail and she started getting anxious about something and her head would come up, I would just default to that. And so she would find something that she would secure the signal and she would calm down. She would calm down. And working with that mare for the summer, I made huge strides with myself in stepping outside of the norm of trying to physically control something that isn't ideal.
Yeah, I mentioned that I had ridden a horse for the first time in Texas, and they gave me whatever the leader of the group is for the horse, whatever that's called. And I was right far in the back, and this horse was eating. And the lady that was guiding the group said, just give him a little pull, he'll come along. I gave him a little pull, he didn't know. But it is absurd to explain how strong things necks are.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I don't think he doesn't want to come. It's like, no, just do a little bit more. I'm like, I'm a strong guy. So I was like, right, okay. I did a big pull. Didn't move. I'm like, by the time they're 100 yards away.
Yeah.
I'm like, still doesn't seem like what. So I was like, a really big pull. I went grip like you do on a deadlift.
Yeah.
Set my feet into the stirrups and like one rep max this horse's head up, and finally he got up. And that was absolutely not the most efficient way to get him to do that thing. There would have been a much better way than me.
Right. Now, what I teach folks is I don't want his body. Okay? I want his mind. Now, if I physically, like you just went through, if I physically get his body to do what I want, but I don't have his mind, as soon as he gets a chance, he's going to go back again. But if I ignore the body and I get the mind, if I have the mind, I have the mind. So in a situation like that, what I do is I don't pull his head. Okay, I take the reins and I bounce that bit that's in its mouth. I bounce pretty sharp. And he decides in his mind, I don't like that. I think I will pick my head up. I'm going to suggest to you that you decide it's in your best interest for you to pick your head up. And we go for the mind. And how much in life, you've got all these folks working for you here, and you have that. You can't physically browbeat and nag and threaten. You that doesn't work.
No. They're belligerent.
Yeah, I've already heard stories there. But you want to make things so that they decide that if this is what Chris wants done, it's in my best interest, I want to go do that. And it's communication, and again, it's getting in the horse's mind and making the horse in that manner. I'll give you an illustration. One of the cardinal sins in my book is when I go to get on the horse and the horse walks off. When I'm quite way up, I'm stepping out, I'm swinging my leg over and he's walking, he's leaving. Okay, that's a cardinal sin. So we have a difference of opinion here, me and the horse. It's like I want you to plant your feet. And I want you to be still while I get on, and then I'll tell you when I want you to go. He says, well, I want to go. So I'm not going to sit there and go back and say, whoa, and do that one-legged hop along cat feet down while I'm trying to get in the saddle. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to physically hold him back. I'm going to put my toe in the stirrup, and I'm going to go to step up, and when he walks off, I'm going to step back out, and I'm going to make him keep walking in a circle around me 8 or 10 times. I'm like, I wanted you to stand still, but you want to walk. I tell you what, I'm a nice guy. I'm going to let you walk. I'm going to let you do what you want. Hey, Richards, you're making coffee?
Yeah. Welcome to the Running Man. Do you have what it takes to survive the world's deadliest game show? The Running Man, Fight A.
Oscar Miller looks over there, and Oscar Singer loses footing. He almost fell out into the celebrities. Well, things are going along just swimmingly for De La Hoya, who is running along the right side of his face. He's making himself an easy target, it would appear at this point. And Vargas trying to, the Hoya trying to back to him around there, and De La Hoya seemed to be very comfortable, and then all of a sudden, he got caught up along the ropes, and that's when Vargas took over the round. Vargas pouring it on at this point, and Vargas controlled the round the rest of the way.
Mayweather Pacquiao.
Waiting for. Both of you are world champions. We went over the rules in the dressing room.
Floyd Mayweather versus
I want
Manny
you to keep this
Pacquiao.
fight clean at all times.
6 years too
Show
late.
good sportsmanship.
6
Protect
years,
yourself
5.5,
at all
6
times.
years too
And
late.
what I say, you must obey.
Mayweather versus
Good luck to
Pacquiao.
both of you. Touch them up, God bless.
May
Teddy
15th.
Bayless, who is refereeing his
May
8th Pacquiao
15th,
fight and 6th Mayweather match,
2015.
administers his final instructions. Hashtag finally, the two touch gloves, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao in the yellow with red. Many people expect Manny Pacquiao to have to force the fight, bring the fight to Floyd Mayweather on race in the first 30 seconds. A bit of a feeling out process, but it is Manny Pacquiao initiating the attack, and it'll be very good for him to keep his punch combinations at 1 or 2 punches. Freddie Roach said he doesn't want him with a flurry of 5, 6, or 7 because that'll give Floyd Mayweather an opportunity to counter.
Yeah, neither fighter is giving up much ground right now. I think Floyd Mayweather's game plan is to essentially walk Manny Pacquiao down. Both fighters have to be careful as they're gauging the range and trying to slowly take over this fight. You're right. Manny can't get too excited because Floyd Mayweather, the master, will find a way to counter early in this fight.
Master counter puncher. Atomic punch accuracy for Floyd Mayweather. Right hand down the middle. Look, enemy number 1 in the southpaw. Manny Pacquiao, the ninth southpaw that Floyd Mayweather has faced. He brought in 2 of his former southpaw opponents, DeMarcus Corley and Zab Judah, from training camp. Many people feel that Manny Pacquiao studied Zab Judah. One of the rare times he has studied him, especially those first couple of rounds against Floyd Mayweather, to try to find some chink in that armor.
But it's nothing like getting into him experience and the real thing. Sometimes film won't be completely honest with you because you're not feeling the speed or feeling the power of the punches. When you get in there, that's the moment of truth, and you have to make up your mind, am I willing to walk through fire to get this game plan off and do what I need to do to win this fight?
Chance of Manny throughout the confines of the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Very much a feeling in the process coming up with a final of the opening round.
Floyd Mayweather's doing a good thing right now. Even though he's fighting at southpaw, some right-handed fighters will abandon the jab. Floyd's not throwing a hard jab, but he's keeping it out there to blind Manny Pacquiao for the straight right hands down the middle.
Attacking the body, to do with the jab, one of the best body jabbers in the sport. When Manny Pacquiao started his own, once Rick Pony had that lightning left hand, he just ate. Stiff right hand by Floyd Mayweather. After the full slot, Eric Morales convinced him to add a right hook, which is known as Manila. How will that right hook play a factor in this fight against the shoulder roll of Floyd Mayweather?
But Pacquiao has a great right hook. The question is, can he land it?
Yes, and of course his jab is almost more like a power jab when it is effective.
This is an ideal round for Floyd Mayweather, offensively and defensively.
As Floyd clinches with Manny, he begins a conversation with Pacquiao. Your thoughts on the opening 3 minutes?
Ideal round for Floyd Mayweather. I think Manny realized that Floyd was very fast, very quick, and most importantly, very accurate. Floyd Mayweather landed probably 3 or 4 not devastating, but very quick and smart and strong straight right hand. You got to be a little discouraging to Pacquiao, but he had to expect that going into this fight with Floyd Mayweather. Okay? Okay, man. Here's the lane. Let's hope he does.
While the neighborhood goes dark, your home shines bright with Got Watts Solar.
Let me just snap into a Slim Jim.
Tired of sifting through jobs that don't feel like the right fit? Introducing Indeed Career Search. Find a job that's right for you. See the northern lights, Andromeda. The experience will speak to you.
Cheese! I see you there taking pictures of me. You know, photos never really do me justice. Well, please, get my good side. I got great sides.
Floyd Mayweather 8 of 26 with a 22% connect rate. Manny Pacquiao 3 of 29, 10% connect rate. And action begins here in round 2.
Pacquiao coming out more aggressively. He must have got a pep talk from Freddie Roach to not let Floyd Mayweather be comfortable. But the only problem with that is that Floyd is answering him. Landing straight right, hard straight right, and then maybe he didn't get any offense back because the real defense is impeccable in the first round and a half.
Floyd Mayweather coming forward, clinching, attacking the wall with his right hand. Manny Pacquiao's going to have to do a better job in this year of cutting off the ring against the Mayweather.
And not just cutting off the ring, but when he has Floyd in the corner like that, he's got a feint going, just pushing the out, and then the chest. Don't shoot for the head because he won't land.
Of course, the sport of boxing on timing and distance. No better at timing and no better at managing distance in the sport today than Floyd Money Mayweather.
No question. What I mean by Manny Pacquiao aiming at the chest is when Floyd Mayweather does, his punches have a better chance of hitting Floyd in the head because he'll meet Floyd at the point instead of aiming at his head and allowing Floyd to deliver the punches.
Danny Bayless will indeed play a pivotal factor in this fight, breaking up the clinch. Mayweather very effective with that lead right hand early, back into the ropes, and now Manny Pacquiao missing upstairs. He's moaning. Mayweather, of course, the partisan quickly here will hear anything Manny does, but not all that effective yet.
Not all that effective. He landed a couple shots, wasn't devastating, but he started low at his body, and then he went high, and he had a little bit more success in that sequence.
Here at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, coming up on the second minute of the second round.
Straight right hand is on point for Floyd right now.
Mixed with that right cross. Manny tried to come back with the left. He parried that jab by Mayweather. Ducked underneath from Mayweather. They touch gloves.
Floyd Mayweather playing wrestling there. He said, keep it clean, keep it clean.
Well, he's not exactly in the thing for us. Fighting by the Marcus of Queensberry Roosevelt punch. Something known as sticky punches. Loves to use his forearms, his elbows. And he loves to, hit sometimes. Mayweather quick to escape from the ropes. Back to his offense. His center of the ring.
Center of the ring. That's what Floyd wants to be. Make no mistake about it. Floyd is comfortable anywhere in that square circle. This is what he's all about.
So thus far, Floyd Mayweather able to keep Manny Pacquiao at bay. For the most part, there have been great spurts of energy from Pacquiao. As we end round number 2, Mark Wahlberg, if the reports are true, he wagered $50,000 with Sean Combs that Pacquiao would win. If there is Combs. So Combs is a member of the Money team. Wahlberg, a member of Team Pac-Man. We'll find out who's going to take on that cast.
When you get in the ropes, okay? There goes that thing a little bit more, okay? A little more forward, okay? Don't walk into it. A little more forward. There you go. Good combination, okay? Forward, combination, okay?
Round 3, total punches in round 2 for Floyd Mayweather, 11 of 32 for 34%. Manny Pacquiao, 5 of 44 for 14%. You know that Floyd Mayweather is going to be economical, but the numbers surprise you. Manny Pacquiao Pacquiao was used to throwing a lot more punches than that.
I'm not surprised. I mean, that's what happens when you fight a master counterpuncher like Floyd. He cuts the punch count in half because he's not there to be hit. And then when you do throw, he counters. So you don't want to throw 100 punches around. That's what Floyd Mayweather does for the duration of his career. He's going next.
Mayweather's won 24 plus fights, ranking number one amongst all three championship calendar fitters. That means he lands 24% higher than his opponents do it. He's going downstairs to the midsection with that straight right hand. The bell line. And Manny thinking was a little low.
And the frustration on Manny's face right now, even though he landed a decent straight left right there. But he's able to do what he needs to do. If he should have expected this, he has to stay patient and continue to try to implement it again.
Frustration leads to mistakes. Mayweather saying that Manny Pacquiao's too reckless. Pacquiao coming back and saying reckless is really what the fans want to see. They want to see it, but it has to be. They could turn it up, but he has to stay focused.
It's got to be his no possession. Something bad could happen. Look at how he quit.
And Manny Pacquiao on the attack immediately clinches. And again, we thought that this might be a storyline. It wasn't a rematch against Marcos Maidana. They're doing what he does, leaning on Manny Pacquiao, using all the tricks he's taken and closing in with a right hand.
And you know when you see Floyd Mayweather put his back foot kind of up in the air and he leans forward, he's coming for that lead straight right here. And he has to be aware of that.
Coming up in the final minute of the third round. Pacquiao has Mayweather on the ropes, but maintaining distance right now. Mayweather sticks to the top of the right hand, and now there's a front walk in. Really, the referee, Kenny Garland, there he is fighting against Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather was penalized one way for Jose Luis Castillo, and they're meeting for using Castillo. That's something that might be to really pay attention to, Andre.
Yeah, it's one thing to have an occasional situation, but he's going to have to step in and do something about it. Or Manny Pacquiao may have to release the situation.
Floyd Mayweather with the right hand, takes the jab, counter attack by Manny Pacquiao. Thus far, Manny Pacquiao unable to keep on the inside where he needs to be. But Mayweather hits the master counterpunch. The top to Mr. Zero. That is a monumental touch. The right hand and a flurry at Pacquiao. And they exchange glances at Manny Pacquiao. The crowd.
You're doing the right thing. Now you're doing the right hand. Coming back with your look, bang. So we just throw one. This is what you want to keep your eyes on with Floyd Mayweather. He's landing to the head, but now he's starting to land to the body. That's straight right. It's strong, straight, and accurate, and Manny does that.
Borderline, but not low, Andre.
It wasn't a low shot, it was borderline. Legal shot. Straight right from Floyd that raised the head of Manny Pacquiao. Manny tried to come back with an overhand left and missed. Seen that kind of sequence in the first couple rounds early in this fight. A nice sequence right here from both fighters and Manny Pacquiao. Fair exchange, but I have to say that maybe Manny won that exchange. Got the crowd on their feet.
Oh,
Yeah, no brash. Soft when you want it, and firm where you need it. It's purple. They put the print down like it's a piece of art. They make me feel that way.
With Fast Signs, create factory-grade visual solutions to perfect your process. Like Fast Signs, make your statement.
Round three, Floyd Mayweather 20 of 41 for 49%. Manny Pacquiao 11 of 47 for 23%. Mayweather has less than 50% of his power shots in his last 13 fights. Number one among CompuBox categorical leaders. Pacquiao has 47% of his. Against the ropes, Pacquiao comes in with the attack, but again, level punches bouncing off the arm. Managed to get in the left hand to Floyd's head.
Yeah, if Manny Pacquiao can throw 5 punches and only land one, Floyd Mayweather was in good shape. And we talked about the shoulder roll earlier, that we were working with the left-hander. Watch this defense right now. Floyd is using the shoulder roll, and it's very effective against Manny right now.
Grand Rapids native James White Tony. Also using the shoulder roll to great effect. One of the best defensive fighters of his era. Manny Pacquiao, one of the greatest offensive fighters of any era. Trying to go on the attack here against Floyd Mayweather. Backs him up with the right. Mayweather with the high bar. Pacquiao again. Flurry of punches. Short bursts.
Manny, even though he's not having, large success, he's having the best success when he starts low with Floyd Mayweather. He starts in the body and then works his way out. That's the best chance he has. But if he goes straight over here, Floyd's going to time it every day of the week and get out of the way. Smart move by Manny Pacquiao right there. He clearly hurt Floyd. He tried to test him out to see how he was, but didn't go crazy, so he didn't punch himself out. Smart move.
Pacquiao's family on its feet. Most of the fans here at the MGM are on their feet. Encouraged by Manny Pacquiao in this fourth round. Under a minute left. And there Pacquiao lands a combination.
He started low. He finished high. He was able to land some shots to the head. But watch out for Floyd Mayweather. He's dangerous when he's hurt. He just landed a big right hand that I know got Manny Pacquiao's attention.
You look at Floyd Mayweather's face and you can still see the remnants. That was a stiff left hand that he ate from Manny Pacquiao.
This is what this fight is all about. Ebbs and flows, back and forth. The world champion winner. Somebody's going to have to earn it tonight if they want to be the last man standing.
Last minute remaining in the fourth. Mayweather again against the ropes. Off the jab, blocked by the Pacquiao. Misses with a jab of his own. That straight right hand of the lead. By Mayweather was effective as always.
Floyd Mayweather seems to have a grip about him. He's clear-headed,
Yep.
and he's back in this fight.
But a great round for Manny Pacquiao here at the MGM Grand for this mega fight.
Here we see an exchange. Floyd throws him a jab. Manny counters quickly with a straight left. Doubles Floyd Mayweather. Manny tees up on Floyd, but Floyd, to his credit, covered up, and not many of those punches landed. And Manny said, okay, let me step back, get my breath back, and reset. Smart by Floyd and smart by Manny Pacquiao.
High ring IQ on display here between Mayweather
Here we
and
see the jab from Floyd's angle, a jab, and then again the straight left comes right off the jab. I don't think Floyd was expecting it, and it got his attention. Let's see if this starts to change kind of the flow of the fight as a whole.
And as you have mentioned throughout the fight, Manny Pacquiao going to the body, trying to find that precious real estate. It's very valuable on Floyd Mayweather's body because he's ready to take a look at that straight left hand, the money punch from Manny Pacquiao. The bell in round 5, power punches in round 4. Floyd Mayweather 4-9, Manny Pacquiao 12-42. The bell in round 5. Pacquiao. The jab of Mayweather goes downstairs to the body with a right hand. The jab was blocked by Pacquiao.
What?
Counter left hook raises the face
Oh,
of
man.
Pacquiao by Mayweather.
That's what Matt.
Floyd is a champion.
That's what we're doing?
Yeah. Floyd doesn't get
I
credit
turned-
for
I
his
paused it.
toughness, his grit.
That's what I'm
He
going.
gets angry and gets,
That
he gets
worked out a little bit while you're
upset
cooking.
when you buckle him
That's
a
what
little
this
bit
Mayweather
tight,
Pacquiao fight,
and he
the first
slowly
fight,
starts to take over.
2015?
He can't let that happen right now.
I think it was May 15, 2015.
For
Maypac.
dominating turn of events, Edmonds
Way too late.
Mayweather told his son
6 years
he
too late.
was
You got any
fighting
water?
like he was scared.
Oh, man. You have any water at all?
Now, whether that's motivational or that's the truth, it's what Floyd Sr. said.
Dude, you don't have no water, dude. Damn.
Kinda out of
Still
character.
trying.